Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm gonna tell you guys my favorite plugins and a bunch of plugins I think everyone should have downloaded. I also just want to say I keep on trying to record. This is like my 8th time trying to record this, but always something goes wrong. Either my studio crashes, or my video gets corrupted, or my audio gets messed up. So hopefully this time it works. So let's get straight into the video. So the first plugin I'll start off with is Moon Animator. Now inside of Moon Animator, it's kind of a few plugins. So there's the character insert part of Moon Animator, where right here you can put a player's name or their ID over here, and then you can click on insert, and then it will insert the player. Now there's also options here for old R15, R15, R6, then there's the default body, and it also saves right here all of the avatars you've inserted, and you could always delete one if you want to. There's also some presets, so these are a few popular people that use the Moon Animator. Here's the owner, 6, J-Bug, Marianne, Nymphy. Oh, I also forgot to point out that there's also this section, the blank section, where you could insert an old R15 rig, the new R15, and an R6 rig. Now obviously Moon Animator has an actual animator. I'm not going to teach you how to use this, but this is the best animator on Roblox. So yeah, I really would recommend this, but there's still one more part of the tool, of the plugin, that I'll teach you, which right here, it's the easy weld. So if you want to weld a part, you could come over here, you could look around at how these work. There's a weld model. You could join some parts, you can join them in their place. You could clean a model off welds and stuff. And yeah, that's really useful. If you don't know what welds are, don't worry about it, but you should probably try to search up what welds are. So our next plugin is going to be the Reclass plugin. Now this plugin is a very great plugin. Now it works with any type of object in Studio, but for example, I'm going to use a frame just as an example. So let's say you have this frame, and you customize it, so you can change the color and make it a bit transparent, and I don't know, you customize it however you want. You could also name it like frame 100 1002. Now let's say you want to change this to text button. So that's obviously hard, because you'll have to take a text button, you have to copy all these properties or redo it. So what you can do is you can go to the Reclass editor, you could click on convert, and right over here, oops, it shows you a list of a lot of things, of everything you can convert this to. So let's say I want to change it to a text button. I click on convert, and now look, now it's a text button. It has the same properties. I mean, of course, it has text because it's a text button now. It has the same name, same transparency, same color, same everything. Now there's also this thing called automatic, where it will try to predict what you want to change it to. So right here, if I were to click on the automatic, you see it changed to an image button. And then if I click on it again, you can see it'll go to a frame. You can see over here, it says it will predict that, and then it'll go to image label. It will basically try to predict what you want to change it to. Now this doesn't only work with screen GUIs, it works with everything. So let's say you have a big thing over here, a big part, and you want to make it a ladder, a truss part. You can go convert, now it's a truss part. Same thing, you can make this a union thingy. I don't remember, operation, a part operation. Now it's a mesh part. Now you can make it a vehicle seat if you want. Basically you could turn anything into whatever you want, and it keeps the same properties. It's really useful. Now the next plugin is the 3D text. So you can basically make whatever text you want. Subscribe to AccessQ, and It's very customizable. So there's this full color customization. There's part mode, so you can make it a mesh part or a special mesh. There's the material. There's the fonts, which is a big thing. Like look at all these different fonts, and they work. So look at that. Now it's this font. Now it's this font. Now it's this font. It's insane. You could also change the thickness of it, and you could change the scale of it, the landing. You could change the tracking. You could change almost everything on it, and then you could obviously click finalize, and there it's in your game, 3D text. So this is a very useful plugin as well. Now our next plugin is going to be a UI plugin. So let's say you make a frame and you want to put it like in the center of your screen. So if you like drag it to the center of your screen, even with these lines, it might not be on the center for every single device. This time I think it is, but it might not be on the center for every device. Yeah, you see? So what you can do, there's this plugin, these positioning tools, and you could basically move it wherever you want. So I want it in the middle, so now it's in the middle. So now if I go to test, you could see it's in the middle on this iPhone 4S, on this iPhone 6, on the Samsung Galaxy, on a HD computer. It basically centers it, and there's a bunch of different areas you can move it to. So you could do top left, top center, top right, the center on the left, all these different areas. You could also change a few properties down here, like use scale, use offset, the pixels and things. So yeah, that's very useful. My next plugin that I'm going to recommend is another UI plugin called Interface Tools. Hold on, let me put it over here so you guys can see it. So what this plugin is, it's basically you can insert any of these buttons. You can insert custom icons. You can insert these frames. You can insert these gradients. There's also a bunch of different icons. So all you have to do is, there's also a search. So let's say I want to add a store. So there, store. I click on it, and now it adds it right here. So right now it's right here. So yeah, there's very helpful plugin, and there's also some settings. Yeah, so it's a very useful plugin. I really recommend that. The next two plugins, or the next three plugins, are going to be fairly similar. So we're going to start off with the part counter. So this right here is going to count how many parts you have, how many voxels you have, and how many instances you have. So if I delete this part right here, you'll see I had 7, and now if I refresh it, hold on, you can see we have 6 now. Now if I delete this, you'll see it'll go down to 5. Yeah, there. I actually automatically updates. So it basically counts how many things you have in Studio. So if I delete the camera, well, it instantly adds a new one. But if I delete the base plate, it'll update to 4. Yeah. So it basically tells you how many instances, parts, and voxels you have in the game. So if I add a part, see there, 1 part. If I add more, you see it basically tells you how many parts you have. It just needs to refresh there. Then I could also obviously delete them, and it will update. Now the next plugin will be lines of code, where this is kind of like the part counter but for code. So you can see how many scripts you have in your game, how many local scripts you have, how many module scripts. Then you could see how many lines of code you have in scripts and local scripts and module scripts, and then there's also total. So you can see how many scripts you have in your game, and then how many lines of code are inside of your game. There's also a few settings, so include duplicates. So let's say you have a few of the same code, you could disable this. And so here, look, if I make a quick code that will we'll do while wait do print subscribe to AccessQ. I think I spelled that wrong, but I can't see because I have my mic in front of me right now. So look, if I update this, you'll see there's one script. Also in total, there's one, and there's 3 lines of code. Now, if I duplicate this a bunch of times, you'll see it'll update. Now, if I uncheck duplicates, you'll see it will go back down to 3 because these are all the same code, just duplicated. So yeah, really useful plugin. I would definitely recommend this. The next plugin is Studio Time Tracker, where basically this will track how much time you've spent in Studio. So I downloaded this around probably 5 months ago, and you can see since I downloaded this, I've spent 12 days, 18 hours, and 54 minutes in Studio. You don't have to have the plugin open, so right now it's closed and it's still tracking, and it saves your progress, and it only counts when you're actually inside a Roblox Studio. So if I leave, it would not count. There's also some settings, so you can make it simplified count. You could display seconds or not. You could also reset the time, which I do not want to do because, yeah. Alright, the next 2 plugins actually cost Robux, but they are very, very useful. So I'm not gonna open this plugin up because it has a few of my data stores saved. But basically, the data store editor is a very helpful plugin, so you can edit any player's data store. You just need to insert the place ID, the player key, the data store key, and yeah, you could customize their data store, whether they're in the game or not. So yeah, that's a very, very useful plugin, but it does cost, I believe, 15 or 10 Robux. The next plugin that costs Robux is the tool grip editor. I believe there's a free one, but the one I have costs Robux. So right here we have a sword. So let's say we wanted the player to hold the sword upside down. I don't know why. Let's say we just wanted to. So we select the plugin, then we select the tool. So you can see in this viewport frame the player holding it. And then you could click on edit tool grip. A little hand shows up and you could customize it. So I can rotate it like this way, and now the player is holding it upside down. You could also see what you're doing with, like, in the viewport frame, so you can rotate it however you want and you'll see how the player will hold it over there. And all you have to do is just close the plugin or deselect off the tool and it'll save. So there's no buttons to click save or anything, it will just save automatically. Alright, so the last plugin is the model resize. So let me show you an example. So right here we have a tower. So let's say we wanted to make this very small. Right now Roblox doesn't let me make this any smaller. This is as small as I can make it. I'm dragging it, as you hear, my mouse, but I cannot make it smaller. So if I come over here to the plugin, which is right over here, now I can drag this down and you'll also see a little box, and I can make it as big or small as I want. Oops, I don't know why that teleported it. Oh, well, yeah, because the sizing is all weird now. It's like really small. But yeah, you could resize it to whatever size you want. It's also with going bigs. Thanks for watching this video. So yeah, as I said, we are at 693 subscribers or something, so if you're new, please subscribe. It will help me out a lot, and you could always unsubscribe in the future. And yeah, see ya.